be that poet. I be that poet. Chill.
What you going to say the quantity, you know what I mean, man? And today on Breaking Barriers, we have a special guest who's worked with people like Denzel Washington, Dwayne "Rock" Johnson, and Mark Wahlberg. Please help me welcome Doris Morgado to the show.
I am Doris, and first of all, thank you so much for these amazing questions. I love being able to talk to people about this. So the first question was, what barriers did I have to break to be where I am today? There's a lot. I want to say the first thing that comes to mind would be the barrier of my self-esteem, feeling that maybe I didn't belong or that I wasn't good enough. And this all stemmed from what I saw on TV. I didn't see growing up people that looked like me. And then comments that people had made. So I think that was the most important factor, was for me to be able to overcome that barrier, because it was definitely the strongest one. I know that when I did, things started moving a lot better for me and a lot faster for me, because there's an aura about someone when they're confident in their own skin. So I think that was the main one. Another one I would say is finding balance. And I know that sounds so weird to have that be a barrier, but it is, because I'm a workaholic. I love working. I love what I do. And I would go so much. I would miss family events, weddings, baby showers, because I had to work. I had to be on set, and I had to wait by the phone to see if something would come. And it slowly started becoming daunting for me, where I wasn't enjoying myself anymore, because I wasn't finding the balance of those moments where I could relax and then those moments where I could work. So I think that's another important barrier, learning how to find that balance. And I'll give you a third one. I think the third one is knowing that no matter what I was doing, if I was doing it to the fullest, then to be okay with that. Because I have, like I said before, I am a workaholic, and so I set standards and I put goals, and when I didn't meet those goals, then I would get upset. And being able to take a step back and say, hey, you've done a lot. Celebrate that and congratulate yourself. Learning how to do that was another barrier. And I think all three of those was something that helped me become a well-rounded person, but also happier and healthier, which is so important. So your next question, and I hope that answered your question. So your other question was, how did I overcome them? So the first one with the self-esteem was a combination of different things. One of them was reading different books, also looking at my self-worth. I'm Christian, so also looking at myself through the eyes that God created me, and that through my imperfections, I am perfect, because that's exactly how I was meant to be. So looking at that, finding that strength, writing down, I saw this, I can't remember if it was a podcast or something, but the lady suggested, it was a psychiatrist or a hypnotherapist, something like that. But she suggested to put on all your mirrors, I am enough. And so I did that. And I know it sounds silly, but it's just little things. Oh, yes. The biggest thing, and this was for all three of the barriers, was writing a gratitude journal. That for me was huge. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times we just get caught up in our everyday lives and what's going on, and we sometimes feel isolated, and so we're just thinking that everything that's going on in our lives is only happening to us. So I did this in the morning. First thing I woke up, opened my eyes, grabbed my little journal, and I wrote down 1 to 3 things that I was grateful for. And I did the same thing when I went to bed. And there were times where I just found it mundane and boring and pointless because especially like in the morning, I was like, well, like, what am I grateful for? And sometimes I would feel like I had to repeat the same things, but then I started, it just got me in a mindset of being grateful. So I think that helps a lot. With finding the balance, and then also like knowing, being grateful for what I've done. The journal was a big help in both of those areas. And also there's a book called The Artist's Way. And that is very much talks about like taking time for yourself and things like that, which I am guilty of not wanting to do because I want to just work. But that was also very helpful. So hopefully that helps you. And then the other question was, what advice would I give to someone looking to breaking their own barriers? I would say, first thing, you are enough. You are enough. And every bad or negative experience that you have had in your life is only made you who you are today and has put you in the perfect position to do what it is that you want to do. And I guess that's another thing that I'm grateful for, is that mind shift of I had to stop seeing myself as a victim. I had to stop seeing myself or stop seeing the world like they owed me something. And that was a huge thing for me, because when I did that, then everything else shifted for me. Then I knew that I didn't have to feel sorry for myself for the things that I had gone through in my life. And I was actually grateful for them, because I would look at them, and like I said about being Christian, I would look at stuff of in the Bible, it talks about that like God's always with you and all these things. And sometimes like things that would happen in my life, I would be on the ground crying like a baby, saying like, oh, poor me, how could this happen? And then when that mind shift started coming, and I was like, wait a second, if everything happens for my good and for my benefit, then I am crying today and I'll cry tomorrow, and I'll be crying a month from now and 2 months from now. But I know at some point something's gonna happen where I'm gonna realize, thank God that happened to me, or else I wouldn't be able to do or to be where I'm at right here to receive this opportunity. So that was a huge thing for me, of learning how to be patient. So I would say, be patient. Yes, you are going through bad things and bad things and horrible things and things where you feel like you're stuck. But know this, that if you're patient, you will soon realize that these struggles that you're going through, you needed them to be able to get to where you need to go next. Because if everything comes easy, then you will never be strong enough for the new load, because every time that you grow in whatever you're doing in your life, you're going to have new responsibilities, new stresses, and you need to be able to build your strengths through that.
I be that poet. I be that poet.